Buddy, let me go shut down. Let me go shut down the heater. I'll be right back. Be right back. I'm headed out that way. That diesel heater's nice, but boy, it sure stinks. Welcome. Rumpel, how are you? What you up to? Well, having fits with the Ford sitting behind me. Well, hello, Randy. Won't you buy me? I need some 13 inches. Won't you buy me some on white letter, please? Every tire on the Pinto is flat, so I got to get something to hold air. Wow. So, yeah, I thought I'd do my weekly Wednesday live. Really don't have no updates other than one problem gets fixed and another one pops up. So, the old Ford I'm getting a little discouraged on. Yeah, I bet you threw away some 30-year-old ones. I think these things are probably every bit of 30 years old. When I was using them straps, I aired up all the tires there when I picked up that Pinto, and they lasted almost long enough for me to get it up on the trailer. And then the ones that were up, when I started cranking them down with the straps, all the air went out of them. So it took me 3 times of strapping that thing to get it down to where it would stay. You are right, Rumpel. You are definitely right. I'm kind of taking the day off today from working on this thing. New parts in it. And the one problem corrected. Now we run into another one. So. Yeah. The little voice in my head, and I know I probably shouldn't listen to my little voices in my head because it normally gets me in trouble. They keep saying go big or go home. But I just don't know how much I want to invest in this thing. It was supposed to be a cheap project. Are you off today, Randy? Exactly. Well, I don't want to spend it. That's the problem. I mean, the car cost me $600. So, I don't really feel like putting $10,000 in it to get it the way I want it. So, and that's probably not very smart. CDM, hello, how are you? Philadelphia, PA, well, welcome. I am in Southwest Missouri myself. Well, I appreciate that, Rumpel. I need the encouragement now. I swear if this Mustang had feet, he'd been kicking me already. I mean, this, you can see my hands all boogered up that's from putting that gas tank in. That little booger's sharp. Hey, Roman, I'm not sure what that word is. Well, welcome. TJ, how are you doing, bud? Yes, I agree. It's a Ford. And unfortunately, that's all I can afford to buy is Fords. So, hello, Mary. How are you? But yeah, it's a big. Well, everywhere's a Chevy place anymore, but this area is really heavy in Chevys. So heavy in Chevy. Hey, that's a rhyme. Um, but you're going to pay for them dearly, and I've got a tightwad pocketbook. So, but as you can see, what the tightwad pocketbook has got me. So, I guess if I want to play, then I'm going to have to pay. I'm pretty good, Mary, because I'm not working on anything today. The Deadpool motor, Deadpool, okay. He may have some parts. I'm looking for an old school 302. This thing here has made me so damn mad with all the electronics on it. I'm over it. I am really over it. So I want something that, if you break down alongside the road with a pair of pliers and a screwdriver and some duct tape, you can get it going again. Oh, that'd be cool. I'd appreciate that. I also need a tranny if I go with a 302. I've been looking. I'm deciding on what I'm going to do yet, and I'm looking at a new crate motor, but then you have to get the crate motor, then you got to have a transmission, then you got to have a new cross member, motor mounts, radiator, and it never stops. So, hello, Stephen. You said you'd be here. You're a man of your word. Make sure it's a 4-valve, huh? Can I have 2-place in the live stream? I don't know, Mary. I guess you'll have to work hard for it. TJ's got it right now. Yeah, I looked at some of Summit's stuff. I even broke down and looked at how much a Coyote motor was. That thought went out of my head pretty quick because that was 12 grand. And then you still got double overhead cam, the electronics. No, not doing that. Not gonna do it. Wow, that's a good deal. 350 crate motor for 2,300. Is it a rebuild or new? So, Mary, where are you at? Oh, sorry, I missed you. King Gog, CR King Gog, how are you doing? Not sure if that's the way you pronounce it. Roman, I'm not sure what you're saying, but I'm not sure what language that is. Oh, I have hard enough time with the English language, let alone somebody else's. Hello, Chris. Thanks for stopping in. It's break time for me. It's been break time all day. I've been carousing the internet looking for parts, deciding what I'm going to do. As I said, that little voice earlier in my head saying go big or go home, you come to mind, Chris. So, because I know you go big. I just don't know if I want to pull the trigger on big. So, well, Stephen, as long as a 4 valve wouldn't be the only thing I want electronic is electronic ignition. The rest of the crap, I want nothing to do with. Don't want an electric fuel pump. I want a mechanical fuel pump. I don't want fuel injection. I don't want none of that crap. I want old school. It was new, yeah. I've seen some, oh, what's it called? Rebuilders something's the name of the website. And that's all they do is rebuilt motors. And they have some almost too good to be true prices, which I've been burnt by them a few times. Not that company, but the too good to be true prices are usually bite you in the butt. Let's just put it that way. Um, I've been looking at ECUs for this thing. Um, I'm kind of up in arms right now. I did cure the problem I was working on that I had, and I have fuel pressure, a whole lot more than the dribble that I did have. So one problem corrected, another problem arose. So yes, exactly, Randy, exactly. Yep, I did one of them too good to be true deals on the marketplace, and I should have known better. I should have. My spidey senses said, don't do it. Don't do it. But they were good. They were good, and they got me. So luckily, it wasn't a whole lot. Randy, I just kind of look back on, and you understand what I'm saying. The training we had tells you to be suspicious of everything and everybody. And I guess I've been out of the loop long enough that I kind of let my guard down. So, well, you're right, TJ. And I'm thinking that they didn't quite tell me everything that was wrong with this thing. And a lot of the other people, evidently, they said they had a lot of people want it, and then never did ever show up. And then they found a sucker like me. And I mean, the car was in too good a shape for what it costs. And I thought, well, it's a good chassis if nothing else. So, but yeah, I know. I'm beginning to think that I've got that 78 out there, and then I've got that 93 out there that I need to work on. And I don't think the 93 is going to be that bad because it's on truck chassis. So, I mean, I know it still has the EFI, but it doesn't have the alarm system like this pile has, and all these other electronics that can go wrong with them. So, I think if I buy anything else, it's going to be preferably pre 1975, but definitely pre 1980. So, but these Mustangs are a dime a dozen in our area. I don't know about you guys, but every one of them, I checked on one the other day. It was supposed to run and everything. Well, it's a V6 with a bad head gasket. Ford should have had to eat every one of these 3.8s because they are a POS motor. Anyway, no sense in being a Debbie Downer. There's nothing I can do about it now. So, anyway, are you working on the Dirty Dodge, Chris? Hello, user. Is that Kathy? Oh, I haven't decided yet. I might. It actually has a title. I've actually got a title in my name. Uh, Tomorrow, I'm gonna go to the courthouse. Hello, JB. Tomorrow, I plan on going to the courthouse and taking some paperwork to petition the court to, I'm not sure how to phrase this, basically to petition the court to notify the state to issue me a title on the Pinto because there's not been a title out on it for a long time and it was sitting in the woods for 20 years. I've got the bill of sales, I've got the legal paperwork wrote up, so you can do it. An attorney will do it for about $800. If they accept my paperwork, I can do it for $50. So no sense in making somebody else the money. Picking up a car. Well, I just about went and looked at an S10 chassis the other day. Another one of them spidey senses thing, Randy. The guy was very vague, and it was one of them deals. $300 for rolling chassis. It was rough. The dash was rough, but it was a chassis. It would have probably been a good car to make a burnout vehicle in, a little S10. I mean, it was kind of ragged out, but for $300, chassis worth that. Oh no, if I could find a 289, I would love to have a 289. I'd prefer that over the 302, but that's kind of looking for a diamond. I guess there's out there if you want to pay for them. The closest 302 I found was supposed to be out of a 1970s model with a transmission. I think they wanted $850. But I'd just soon buy a whole car that had it in it. But oh, not here. Not here in Palo J. You have to something that the DMV here, they call it the Department of Revenue. And I'm sure you've dealt with them in your state, and I think most of them, they take hateful classes to work there. I don't know. I don't understand it, why they're so difficult to get along with most of the time. But anyway, here, this was what I was told from a state trooper, and he pulled it up and showed me that you can petition the court that you are a resident of the county, that you have real property, blah, blah, blah. It's worth this much, and it describes the real property, and you have to have a bill of sale. You take that into the courthouse, go to the clerk's office, then they will take that along with your money. Money's always involved. And then you will get a court hearing, and then you'll go before the judge, and they'll ask you about this stuff. And then what they will do, they will issue, this is my understanding, and I may be wrong, but they issue a letter or a court order to the Missouri Department of Revenue stating you need to issue a title for this car to this person. I don't know how a county can, well, I guess it's a state court, so how they can demand that Department of Revenue do it. But you know what? If it works, I don't care. So, yeah, it would. That's not what's in the Mustang. I'm not sure what's in the Mustang. I mean, even the transmission, I don't want to be electronic. So, wow, that's cool. Well, I bought the Pinto from State Trooper, so I think he'd be right on with it. So, if he could have done it, he would have done it right then. But um, they've got to do all their due process. They got to make sure and run the VIN, and the VIN's is from 1978, and I think it's only got 11 digits. Hello, Richard. How are you? Uh, so you really can't even run it on a modern VIN decoder. Um, I did run it through an AI program, and it actually brought up everything about the car, where it was made. Uh, didn't say who owned it or anything, but told you all about the car, which I thought was kind of cool. So I just looked at the bill of sale the other day. The freaking thing's got 57,000 original documented miles. It looks like it's got more than that, but it was sitting in the woods for over 20 years, maybe more. I'd have to look at the license plate, see when it was last registered. But that's what a lot of people do around here. They'll drive a car until it quits running, and then they'll just park it or quit driving it and buy something different. So I'm hoping that 2.3, that was a pretty good motor in the Ford, so I hope I can bring that back to life. And if not, I know that they've been retrofitted for V8s in them and stuff, but I'd like to do the 2.3 and put a little booster on it, maybe. A classic decoder. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I printed that out, but it was just kind of interesting. Okay, yeah. Is that something you can do free, or you have to pay for each time you decode one? Again, my modularly ways come out, so. I do have the top of the intake off of the Mustang. Uh, I'll show you what one of the valve covers look like. I want to make sure the valves are functioning on the one side. I haven't got the other side off. Don't that look yummy? Kind of look like the oil pan. It looks almost like it's got oil dry in it. Honestly, looks pretty freaking nasty. I'm kind of wrestling with the thing that, I know it's got a bad head gasket. I do know that. So I'm struggling with do I go ahead and try to pull the heads off, make sure I don't have a cracked head, and put new head gasket back on it, try to put it back together and see if we find anything else internally that makes us stop, or just say the hell with it and start yanking the motor. So the reason I started tearing it apart mainly to do a little exploratory on it. Make sure all the injectors are working. All the fuel lines are clear up on the rail. Make sure everything is turning internally like it should. So, I don't know. A one-time payment, okay. Yeah. I have thought about taking it off the jack stands and rolling it right out the door and rolling something else in and calling this a failure. But that just kills me to have to give in and let the damn car win. Oh, we're gonna get it this weekend, Richard. If the Weather Channel's right, they're saying 3 to 5 inches of snow Saturday. What's up, Igor? Are you a Netflix fan, are you? So, anyway, that's what's been going on here, what's going on in you guys' shop, so. Good job, Jay. Boogie, where were you at yesterday or the day before when I was elbow deep in this damn thing? Yep, I've kind of been systematically doing what I can with it. I've checked all the ignition fuses. I've checked. We have compression. We have fuel pressure. I'm gonna go rent O'Reilly's fuel pressure gauge to see how much fuel pressure we actually do have. We are getting good spark, extremely good spark. We're getting fuel in the cylinders. It acts like it wants to start, but it just won't start. I do not know. Yep, I know that feeling, Bogey. I know that feeling oh so well. But I've checked I can't even remember what the thing was called. Air temperature sensor, I checked it. Done it a crude way. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but anyway, you do it with an ohms meter and you got to have heat or cold. So I put it in the freezer and it did what it's supposed to do. So the only thing I haven't checked is a map sensor, which shouldn't cause it from starting. I put an OBD scanner on it. It shows 0 codes. So I'm kind of thinking the crankshaft positioning sensor is probably working. I would think that the ECU would be bad. It would show some type of code or wouldn't read. I don't know. If you guys have ideas, let me know. I don't know at this point. I'm just very, very aggravated with the whole damn thing. So. All right, Jay, keep after that Cutlass. You're doing a good job, man. It's very impressive. Very, very impressive. Might have to break down and put the heater on. It's getting cold again. This is the first time I've been in the shop today, so. Let me go crank that thing on. It's noisy. Hopefully you can hear me. You'll have to let me know. Things are noisy, but they sure do work good. As long as you can get through the smell, so. Can you guys hear me okay or not? What is that? That's a turbine heater. See it flickering? The dual fuel. See that thing right there? Burns diesel fuel. Makes a hell of a lot of racket, but it puts out a hell of a lot of heat, so. That's usually what I fire up when I first come in the shop to take the chill out, and then I'll kick the furnace on. That way, it's cheaper to buy the diesel fuel than it is the propane. Rusted Metal Garage, how are you? How's Jamie today? Painting today? I had to break down and turn the heater on, Jamie. I was getting cold, but I'm a wimp, so I do not like cold. What did you miss? You really didn't miss anything. I just turned on the heater because I was getting cold. SpaghettiOs, rock on. I haven't had them in years. I used to eat them a lot. I remember back as a kid, my mom would cut up hot dogs and throw in them. And as a kid, I'd even mix in cottage cheese. I know that'll probably gross a lot of you out, but mix it in the SpaghettiOs, that was good eating. That was like high on the hog as a kid. Yep. Yeah, we probably all did. That and ravioli. I still like ravioli. Like I say, I haven't had SpaghettiOs in forever. Are you guys supposed to get hit with a winter storm, Stephen? Yeah, this Mustang, I was planning on putting another long form video out Sunday, and I have some footage, but I don't have a lot on it. So I don't know if we're going to put out a short one. I do have another video that I have uploaded. It's nothing grand. It's a long form, but it's a video of kind of an assembly and review of a transmission jack. I don't know if that's something you guys would want to see or not. Let me know. I mean, video's a video, right? Yep, the freezing rain is bad news, especially when you get the snow and then the freezing rain on top of it. I think the temperature's supposed to start dropping and we get real windy on Friday. And And then Saturday, it's supposed to be like bitterly cold, like 0, and 3 to 5 inches. With it being that cold, it'll be a dry snow. So I don't blame you. Bring that cootie in. But then again, later on next week, it's supposed to be back up in the upper 40s. So Richard, you're going to get you a snowplow RC so you can start plowing the sidewalks up there at your house. That'd be kind of neat to see something like that. Probably the biggest thing would be getting traction. What year's your CUDA? I'd stuck a plot in for the J in. Don't know what you mean, Boggy. I guess I missed something somewhere. What time is it in your part of the world, Richard? It happens, Randy. It happens. No big thing. We all have to multitask. I probably won't do much this weekend other than stay huddled up inside. Hopefully the internet will continue and $67. All right. I don't blame you, Randy. You better stockpile that wood because you'll do it now because it's going to be frozen in a couple days. Because I know if we get the cold front, you guys seem to be in the same weather jet stream that we are for the most part. So. Some bitter cold temperatures are coming. Oh no, you're out. But you're not allowed to touch chainsaw. Oh, you're dangerous. No supervision. Evening here. Okay. It is, I guess you would call late afternoon here, so. Hey Lars, I'm laughing at Randy's comment. I'm thinking, that almost sounded perverted, Randy. You still working, Lars, or you done for the day? Oh, I can see you stroking that chainsaw, Randy. That says short all over it. That's hilarious. Was going to bring Henry over here. Let him pull this damn engine apart. Back to civilization. In Booneyville. That's one of my favorite places to be, away from civilization. Alright, thanks Randy, I appreciate it. Well, hello Renegade. David, how are you doing? Just got done watching your video about an hour or so ago. What was I saying? I was thinking of something. Somebody made a comment a while ago and it made me think of you. I can't remember what it was now, David. It'll come back to me. I'm cold right now. That's why I got the noisy heater running. I like the thing. Well worth the money, but it takes the chill out real quick. It says it's 71 degrees in here by the thermostat. That would be the only thing that I would change on one of those. It's at 10-degree increments is where you can, it's either 60 degrees, 70 degrees, there's no in between. So, that's one thing they would, I wish they would upgrade and put a more sensitive thermostat where you could dial it in at 68, 72, whatever. But, I've actually got it set at 80, but I never let it run that long. I'll watch the thermostat. It gets up to about 74. I'll turn her off. Need to go find me some type of a vinyl board or something from the hardware store. And I keep meaning to put my stickers up. And I don't want them to be permanently on something that I can't move around. So if I ever move, I want to take my stickers with me. So I think I'm going to buy some kind of 4x8 sheet of something and cut it down to where I can screw it onto the wall. And I can move it from place to place if that ever happens. I'm guessing your mail hadn't ever came to you yet, Richard. Right now, the temperature says 72. I'm gonna wait till it cools off really quick in the garage. Richard, it's I've got it insulated. I've got 6 inches in the ceiling, 3.5 in the walls. Granted, it is a pole barn, so it does get... Oh, Jordan! I've actually got the door here closed off to the other side of the shop, so we're not heating it too. So, trying to make it... Hey, this inside here is 30 by 40. The other side of the door is 16 by 30. So, I would like to remove this wall, but I can't because it's a supporting wall. It would open it all up. So, but we're kind of built, we're cut into a hill and kind of built. The ground's like 4 foot on the far side of the wall there. Let me go shut the heater off. It's up to 73. It's coming up pretty quick. Sitting there running the battery down on my little work light. Turn this around so I can see and show you. The inside of the motor looks a whole lot better than the inside of the valve cover. And as you can tell, it's pumping oil. And I was wondering if that was going to happen, but it is pumping oil. I've got the intake's two pieces on this Mustang. And I've got the upper portion off, which is right here with the throttle body. I've got to get in here and get this other valve cover off, but I had to get rid of the upper because it hung over the valve cover. You might have been able to get it off, but I doubt it. So we're doing exploratory right now. I'm going to get the fuel rail off. Well, I'm going to check fuel pressure. We are getting pressure now, but I don't know how much. I don't have a fuel pressure gauge, so go rent one from O'Reilly's. We'll check the pressure, and then we will, if we got good pressure, then I'm probably not going to mess with anything. I may do checking of the injectors. I've checked about everything. I just don't understand why she won't completely start. It really wants to. It sure acts like it. But David, any ideas? It's throwing no codes on the scanner. I know that's not 100%, but it has no codes. I've run it 3 times, and it has never threw up any code. But the gas issue, or the fuel pump issue, is fixed. Well, that's what I've been messing on, and then when it didn't start, I'm kind of like, how much more time and effort am I going to put into it? And I don't know. Yeah, I know. David, I agree. Yeah, Richard, I'm going to guess it's going to take 3 weeks. That is just my thoughts. I have no idea Yeah, I kind of like the green, but you know, most of every vehicle I've got, for the most part, my newer vehicles, they're all green. My Ram is green. I can't remember. They told me at the body shop what it was. Wanted to say like an emerald or some kind of green. I think they only made one green for that year. I have a Jeep, and it's green. It's a OD green. And then our Toyota Cracker Box, it's also green. So. Oh, you guys enjoy that wall? Can you tell what brand that is? There we go. That's better. Yes. Wow. I'll be quite honest with you. I knew diddly squat about these Mustangs, other than they're, in my opinion, not a true Mustang. That's just my opinion, for what it's worth. That and $4 will get you some coffee, maybe. But true Mustangs they quit making them in 1973, as far as I'm concerned. Anything after 1973, when they They totally screwed them up when they went to a Mustang too. I like coffee too, but it's expensive to buy out. I need to get a coffee pot over here, but I'd have to buy bottled water because wintertime I only got the spigot outside, so. You got given a Cobra back, a Cobra jet? David, tell us how warm it is there. Warm us all up, because it's cold here. Is it at least 65 down there in Florida? Huh. 60. Well, that's still pretty chilly for Florida, isn't it? I guess it's not. You can't complain. I mean, you're in northern Florida, aren't you? Trade out the Fox body for the jet. UT, you talking about University of Tennessee? Know what the UT is. Remember, I'm old, not hip, so. $28. Good God. The damn oranges are going to start falling off the trees at 28. Going to make your citrus get expensive. Not that I eat a lot of citrus because you can't fry citrus. Or I guess you can, but. Northeast, yep. I've been to Jacksonville once or twice. One time, the first time I went was many, many years ago. Me and a buddy drove a Corvette from um, mid Illinois to Daytona Beach. And I don't know, this guy that I went with, it was his Corvette. Can't remember what it was, 1980 or something. He always disconnected the speedometer on his car so he wouldn't rack up the miles on it. But anyway, we drove down there, and he had taken all the insulation out of the firewall and just threw the carpeting back over it. No air conditioning. It was hot, hot, hot driving down there in the summer, early spring. Had a good time. I got it out one night when he was asleep and got it out on the beach and about got it buried it in the sand. But needless to say, I managed to get it out. Oh, it was. It'd like to beat us to death. I remember going through Nashville, Tennessee. We had the T-tops out of it, so you had all the wind resistance from the T-tops being out. And it was beating us to death on the city roads, the interstate. So it started to rain, so we pulled over underneath the viaduct, and naturally all the suitcases and stuff was underneath or on top of the T-tops. So yeah, that was a fiasco, but we finally made it. Olivia looked at me and said, Eleanor, huh? It's a 69 jet, not a GT 500. Okay. Yeah. I honestly probably wouldn't know the difference. I couldn't picture it right now. Uh, I might know the difference if I seen them in person, but well, I was watching, and everybody has their own opinion. Don't get me wrong, to each our own, right? Um, Richard Rawlings, he was bitching about that they flooded the market with people building the Eleanors and stuff, and now there's no market for them no more. They're not worth a whole lot of money. So I don't know. I probably would never buy one because I like to keep my money for the most part. I don't know why. Can't take it with me. I need to spend some. I don't have a lot, but the miser mentality. I've been that way all my life, and it's hard to get out of that. That's why I have a couple pennies I can rub together because I scrimped a lot and did without a lot of things that I wanted. They weren't never went without for the needs, but the actual wants. There's a difference between need and wants. So okay, a jet is stubby. The GT 500 is longer. Okay, and different engines. I think I did see a GT uh, at one of the local car shows this last summer. $3 million. Wow. Did they actually sell it, or did they have a reserve for more than that on it? First of the 12 ever made. Wow. Well, it was worth a lot of money. I will give it that, but just as $3 million is a lot of money to spend on something just to say, hey, I've got one of the first of the 12 original cars ever built. You know, I'd be tickled with one out of the 5,000 that was built. I I don't care. Or 10,000 is built. Next week, the reports of the temperature are negative 20 degrees below zero. It will be cold. Yes, that will be definitely cold. They're supposed to drop down to um, zero um, Fahrenheit here Saturday, which is 32 degrees below freezing. So I think if I did my math right, that's correct. Really, a white car too. Wow. Your Chevelle's priced at 80 grand. Well, it's probably worth it. I would love to have a collector car, an old muscle car. Um, I'm just not willing to pull the trigger for the price tag. I guess I don't want it bad enough. JB, you ought to be happy for single digits. We're going to go down to zero digits. So Hopefully it won't. They say it's going to happen, and you know how the weather people are. They scream the sky is falling, and then you can't go you can't go to the store and buy anything because the shelves are bare. And I have to ask this to you guys because I don't understand it. Why, when they predict a storm coming, why do people go buy bread, eggs, and milk? Is everybody making do that? Is that a thing that people make French toast when the weather gets bad, or are they having egg sandwiches and drinking milk? I don't understand the deal with it. So me, I grab soda and chips. That's what I would buy, but that's why I have heart issues. So that's right. 20 degrees is definitely too much negativity. That's why Vikings are tough, Richard. You guys are tougher than we are, man. Valiant, how are you? Welcome to the shop. We're just talking about random stuff and cold weather and being negative in the negative degree weather. So I have no doubt it's too cold in Michigan. I've seen some of Indecisive's garage's snow plowing live streams. Are you up in northern Michigan also? I think he said he was in about an hour from Mackinac south. But yeah, you guys can keep that Michigan cold. I've only been to Michigan one time, and that was on the bikes. Me and a buddy went up to Harley Museum there in Wisconsin. Went and drove on through the up by Green Bay, went through the Upper Peninsula, back down, went across the Mackinac Bridge, and I was riding a Softail at the time, that little skinny ass tire on the front, and I got on that graded part of that on the Mackinac Bridge. I was never so happy to get off the freaking bridge in my life. There you go. There you go. David, first thing Shelly needs to do is get out of that freaking Flint, Michigan. Can't even drink the water there. So you're a southerner almost then, Valiant. You're not one of them UP people, huh? No, it's a Softail custom. At the time I had a Peace Officer Edition Ultra Classic that we traveled on, and then the custom was kind of my bike that I'd go with buddies. We actually did the wild hog thing before the movie ever came out. And no, we weren't wild hogs, but we did several. Every year we do a trip. We did that for about 4 or 5 years. When was we to go the first year? First year we went to Louisiana. Classic Car Revivals, welcome. Thanks for coming in. First year we rode down to Louisiana, just me and my buddy Dan, and everybody wanted to know why we're going. We went down there to eat seafood. So, let's see. Second year, we went to New Mexico to get us a Harley Davidson Alien T-shirt because I don't know if you were this way, David, but you couldn't, you don't get a Harley shirt unless you've been to the Harley dealership. It's just sacrilegious. Never, every Harley shirt I had, I picked up from the store. So I'll have to remember that, Steve, or who's Valiant? Are you Steve? I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. Hello, Lucy. Okay, I'm gonna try to get your names learned. You'll have to cut me a little slack because I'm bad with names. So David is Classic Car Revivals, and Steve is Valiant. So Dave, you're in Minnesota, aren't you? Is that correct? I get we start getting these Michigan, Minnesota. We get them all. They all start with M, and that confuses my little mind. So no, northern Minnesota. Are you having a cold snap come in this weekend too? Or you probably already got it. Bigfoot on break. Hey, thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. I know, Renegade. I know your name's David. They may not. Negative 40. Good God. Batting down the hatches. You wouldn't see me till spring. No big thing, Lucy. I tried to go. So last week, I think I went on at 4 o'clock. I tried to do 3 to 5. I try to use good etiquette and try not to compete with my friends' channels. It's hard to sometimes not compete, but try to keep up on things, projects, that you guys know what's going on, which is usually not a whole hell of a lot of nothing for the most part. I'm just kind of in my what I'm going to do stage with this vehicle right now. So there's been a time or two I wanted to put a match to it. So good deal. Good deal. We all need each other's help. I know I gotta try to get these names right. I know, David, you guys helped me out a lot when I was struggling for my 500, and thanks to you guys and several other people, you guys all got me across that 500 line so I can compete in the No Name Nationals, and I appreciate y'all for that. We actually did a race against old JB and Bigfoot. JB kind of paddled my behind a little bit. Bigfoot, we were pretty close there for a while, and then you finally must have hit another gear and you just took off and left me. The old Simon and Simon Power Wagon took off and left me. But you know what? Even though I didn't win any of the races, I had a hell of a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to next year. And I really like to get the Mustang going so I could run that 6-cylinder bracket. But it's not mandatory. So. Probably rather put a little more. You was well. You were successful, JB. How many runs did you do that weekend? I don't see why it wouldn't. Uh, I don't see why it wouldn't at all. I mean, I don't know what you got going on with that, but there was a Laguna there that was pretty damn hot. It was Levi. I can't remember his channel's name. Kicked it in the rear end. Okay, yeah. 24 runs. You done more than anybody did, I think. And you got a couple trophies. So you did all right last year. But now, you set the bar high, JB. You set the bar high. So you're going to have to go above what you did last year. Levi's Backyard Performance, that's it. So I think you'd have a hell of a good time. You ought to come down. I know it's quite a jaunt coming from Minnesota, but I think you'd have a good time. A good group of people. It's not a huge event, so you don't get lost in the shuffle. You're able to meet everybody, make some connections, and stuff. I know the other day I was watching Buster Radio Garage's video, and I know he put out his places he had planned on being, and I know he was considering coming back to the Northern Nationals. I'd love to see him there because I'm already signed up to go. Matthew, how are you? I'm not ignoring you. I was just when you get old, you got to keep that train of thought of moving, or you lose it. So, but welcome, and how are you today? I don't blame you. The walls close in on you sooner or later, don't they? Wow, it's already dropped 4 degrees in here just in that little bit of time. Yeah, it's hard to keep track of them a lot. Sometimes I'm trying to learn everybody's name behind the scenes, their real names, I guess you could say. Um, I've got some down. It'll take me, but I'll get y'all's down sooner or later. So, but so Lucy, how are you doing today? Things going on in your world? Yeah, I think, well, obviously I got everybody that's in here subbed because y'all probably got a notification. So, and I appreciate all of you supporting and coming into the live stream. Appreciate it. Uh, and I eventually get everybody's videos watched. Sometimes it may take me a few days, but I am uh, pretty much watch every video that comes out from beginning to end on everybody's long form channels because that's where we need the watch hours. Uh, well, hello, Carlo. How are you doing? Hey, well, great. Welcome back, Boggy. Yeah, I think you would definitely have a blast there. Um, most of these guys, it's on for the most part on this live stream. A lot of them. I'm going to say probably 40% of them that's in here. I met through the No Name National Group, and uh, so I feel like I've probably have made some good friendships with some of them. So they have no, they tried today, but my blood pressure went down. It went up. They're still kind of dangerous to try to walk again. Yeah, you'll get there, Lucy. You'll get there. Don't give up. Keep fighting. Oh, don't rub it in, Carlo. Don't rub it in. We're up here freezing our noogies off, and you're basking in the sun down there. For those of you who don't know, Carlo is in Western Australia, and it's summer there. I think he likes rubbing in the warm temperatures to us up here freezing. What time is it in Australia right now? Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm several, probably 100 miles south of you guys in Minnesota, but they're talking zero for us on Saturday with 3 to 5 inches of snow, and we are we're kind of on the fringe of snow and ice is where we're at. We're right on the Missouri Arkansas border. I'm actually about probably 7 miles north of the Arkansas border. 6:17 a.m. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I should have known that, Carlo. I know when you're on Randy's Never Done's that it's a.m. for you then. So, hello, Craig. How are you doing? Missed your live stream the other day, but I'll get caught back up on. I need to make me a schedule to see when everybody's is. I've got David's from Renegades Tuesdays and Fridays. I just about missed it last night though, but I did catch up on the last probably 30 minutes or so. Um, yeah, I talking about subs. Um, I looked at mine. I lost 12 last week and 9 the week before, and uh, I guess YouTube doing their auditing thing. So Yep. You know, the struggle is real, right? That'd be a great time to do it, JB. Do it in front of a roaring fire. Do you have a fireplace or a wood stove or something? That way, as we watch live, we could be warm watching you as the rest of us are freezing. Just go live when you have content or you're bored, yeah. Yep. We made a little progress, Craig, and then we hit another wall. So I'm in the thinking and shopping uh, game right now, I guess. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'd like to do it in the evenings, but a lot of my friends do it in the evenings, and I don't want to step on their toes. So, sometimes you can't help it, but for the most part, I try. I try to do my best at it. I guess I could do it in the middle of the night when everybody else is having sleeping lives on. Might actually get a lot of people to watch. Who knows? Don't understand that why people, hundreds of people will sit there and watch somebody sleep. I'm like, wow. Talk about not having a life. When JG is live, no one won't be on your live. I've uh, I've watched a few of JG's. He's high energy. I'll give him that. He is definitely a high energy dude. So, yeah, Craig, I looked at a Coyote engine. I just can't pull the trigger on 12 grand to put in a $600 car. I just can't do it. Then you got to do transmission, K-frame. Yeah, it never stops. And then it'll be time you got it all, you're 30 grand in a $600 car. Not doing it. I'm gonna probably give the V6 one more try. I'll probably throw some more money at it and see what happens. Uh, it'll either be a win or a fail. I guess we'll just wait to see. So, oh yeah, that'd be a good, nothing but a good time there, JB. First step is take the inner fenders out. Be my guess. Yeah, them are like hen's teeth, Greg. Um, somebody had parts. They had heads, And the turbo looked like majority of the stuff there. I don't think they had the pulleys. Majority of the stuff there, somewhere in northeast Pennsylvania. But if it had been within a couple 100 miles, I probably would have drove it and maybe considered buying it. But I already been burnt once on Marketplace, so I don't need to keep getting burned on it. So yeah, I've called about a lot of the T-birds, and majority of them around here, they either already been robbed or they're no longer available. So hell, you can't even find a good V6 around here to even do an engine swap. There's probably within a 200-mile radius of me between 1996 to 2008, there's probably 50 Mustangs for sale with the V6 that don't run. Well, hello, Dennis. I tried to comment on your short again, and it let me give a thumbs up, but I couldn't comment. So, but that is some pretty orange. You sure do make them tractors shine. LKQ. What is LKQ? I'll look it up. What do you mean, Richard? What have I done before today? I mean, done to the car or just in general? Uh-huh. Well, JB, that's a pretty shitty job, so good luck with it. Hope everything comes out okay. Stop leak, man. Stop leak. Salvage. Okay. Salvage. I'm not sure how do you pronounce your name. A run Pape? What is my point on Indians? I don't have a point on Indians. I don't have an opinion one way or the other, I guess. Unless y'all do something to me, I don't have a problem. So, welcome to the chat. Are you from India, or where are you from? Well, that's cool, Matthew. The car? Okay, well, I wasn't getting any fuel pressure up to the injector rail. So the fuel pump was bad. So when I dropped the fuel tank to replace the fuel pump, there was all kinds of sludge in the tank. So I replaced the tank and the fuel pump. It's back. I have fuel pressure now, but it's still no start date. It acts like it wants to start. I've checked ignition fuses. I run the OBD scanner, shows no codes. I'm getting fire. I'm getting gas down to the cylinders. Let's see, what else have I done? I've got compression. They're kind of all over the place, but I got enough compression. But I've started taking the intake off and one of the valve covers, and some of you already seen it. But this is the driver's side valve cover. and it looks like it's, I don't know if you guys, looks like it's got, they've thrown oil dry in it. What it looks like. I mean, that's a shit that's inside of it. So, but anyway, the actual inside doesn't look bad. I mean, it's a little gunky, but nothing like the valve cover. And as you can see that we are getting oil pressure. So when I drain all that crappy oil, evidently it didn't clog the sump. So we're pumping oil up in the top of the motor. Inside a two-piece intake. I've got the top of the intake off. There's the throttle body in the top. So I can get the valve cover off on the passenger side. So my next step, check to make sure I'm getting appropriate fuel pressure. And if I am, then we're going down deeper. I know we got head gasket somewhere that's got a problem. A cracked head, we're done. Or I'm not buying this shitty piece of shit 6-cylinder. We got a cracked head, we're pulling it. I have made that decision. So well, if we have an engine failure, crack, it's gone. It will become a boat anchor. Well, yeah, I would definitely agree with you on that. But means we drained out probably 2 to 3 gallons of fluid out of the oil pan. I can about guarantee all the radiator contents was in the motor. So had to get there somehow, and pretty much the only way I know we could get in there, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, bad head gasket or cracked head or cracked block, I guess. So well, that's where I'm going to right now, Dennis. I'm going down to the head. I'm gonna see where we're at, and if it's just a gasket, and I'll probably go ahead and put a new head gasket set on it. And I mean, if I'm gonna pull one, I'm gonna pull them both, because both compression on both center cylinders were weaker than the rest of them. So, Mexican Spec, how are you? Thanks for coming. Why you're not blue? Okay, that's better. All right. I think I did that right. So, but anyway, that's what I was saying earlier, Dennis. I'm hearing little voices in my head. I don't know if they're good voices or bad voices, but I'm hearing them. And my little voices are saying, "Go big or go home." But I don't mind going a little bit big, but I don't want to go stupid big. So. I know. Yesterday was a bad day in here, and I trying to let my hands heal up a little bit. They're all chewed up from that damn gas tank. Both of them are, and yeah, I'm sure it will answer my question. I would like to find if it answers it what I think it's going to answer it is if I'd like to find a 70s era 302 or 289 I guess if it's a 289, it would be a 60 era. That and a tranny. And if I could find one of those, I don't have the problem with pulling the trigger for the new front end to put underneath it. The new K member, I think is what it's called, to put underneath it. I don't have that problem. But to buy it and try to put a Coyote in it, uh, $12,000 for a Coyote motor, no, no, I'm not going to do that. I think a 302 crate motor was somewhere around 4 grand to 5 grand. I don't really want to do that bad. What size of motor do you think's in that boat? I need to pull the hood on the Bronco out here. Keep my fingers crossed that it would have a 302 in it. That would be good if it had one. Because if that has a 302, then I got my donor motor. And then I could go back. You think it's a 302 in that boat? I was thinking it might be a 351 or better, but if it's got a 302, we may have a donor motor then. I'll just have to find a tranny, put some headers on it. But, well, this weather, I know you keep posting us on the updates of when spring's coming, but it ain't coming fast enough. I'm afraid spring's going to be here, and then the cold weather's still going to be here. So, but I've been thinking about that boat, trying to figure out the best way to get that off that trailer and onto mine. So I have an idea. So hey, right now I need the encouragement, Dennis. I do. Man, it has dropped 6 degrees since I shut that heater off. So you have a loader on your tractor. My thought was, I was kind of thinking, being it's already on the trailer, is to sling it maybe with, I don't know, you think a 4x4 would hold one end of that boat up if we blocked it up? Kind of block it up and let it dangle in the air and then back my trailer underneath it? Think that's feasible? I mean, I got a winch. We can winch it on the trailer's is tilting, so it'll tilt down the ground. So, but I have been loading it in my mind. Load it, tractor, let you pull under it. Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as we think it's going to be. I think if we can get it up in the air, the thing of it is just get it spanned to where I can get it'll straddle my fenders and tire wheels, but the trailer will handle it without no problem. I'm thinking probably load it back first is what I'm thinking, because that's where all the weight's going to be, is with that transom. And then I'm thinking if push comes to shove, I'll bring my little, what do you call them, car dolly, the wheel dollies. We can always set the V in one of those and drag it up too. So you're going to make it. 3 more. Oh, I won't. Things always work better in my mind. I've already seen the Mustang run in my mind. I have a vivid imagination, I guess. Wow, 25 likes. Richard been helping me out getting them likes. I appreciate it, Richard. Well, that will definitely, if that's got a 302 in it, because I've looked to see the if a 351 will fit in the Mustang, and they say it will fit, but then you'll have to modify your hood, and I really don't want to. Okay, I really don't want to have to modify the hood, so. Yep, Carlos, getting off work. She has to work to support my ass. Well, hello, Ryan. How are you, my friend? You gonna get the cold weather up there in the northeast North Carolina? Yep, if all else fails, Dennis, the hammer will work. Ryan, we're talking about when the weather warms up, I'm going to go to Twisted Mopire and pick up I think you said it was a 22-foot inboard um, boat and drag back to the homestead here. Not that I want a boat, I want the motor for the boat. 1 degree high Saturday. Yeah, they're talking zero here. 3 to 5 inches, which it's going to be so cold that snow is going to be dry. And it'll probably, they say we're going to have winds too, so it'll probably do some drifting. Yeah, don't rub it in. Don't rub it in. Carlo already was rubbing it in. It was 86 degrees down there in Australia. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've got the pictures, so. So what you been working on anything here recently, Ryan? Everybody, Richard's trying to get subs to help build this channel, so if you guys don't mind, check him out, and if you want, give him a sub. I'm sure he'd appreciate it, and he'll also sub you back. Might want to go skiing with it. Do rocks ski? I guess they skip. They skip across the water. But no, I probably won't want to go skiing. I've only skied once in my life. And that was back behind an old 1957 Batwing. I don't even remember what it was, Glastron or something. Oh, you don't want none of this cold weather. I'm about to be as set as can be. I've got 2 generators. Gonna grab some gas. Got an old oil lamp and kerosene wick heater and 6-inch gallon in case we lose power. Rock on. You didn't know, I didn't know you was a prepper, Ryan. Okay, David. Thanks. That just makes me colder. Now, see, we're all electric, so if the power goes down, we're kind of screwed pooches. But I do have a backup. I have a what they call it, a 100-pound tank uh, outside my dining room window, and then I have one of them gas ventless heaters with a long hose. So if push comes to shove, I may not have power, but I'll have some heat. Because I know if the heat goes out in the zero weather, then the next problem is going to be frozen water pipes. So there you go. There's your live stream to do donuts out in your yard if it snows. Yeah, maybe we should box David some snow and mail it down to him. I'm sure he'd appreciate that, Dennis. Sounds like you're pretty prepared to me, Ryan. Ah, you know, tomorrow I'll go out and get my eggs and bread and milk. I still don't understand why people that's all what they hoard. I don't understand that. But, well, I got this turbine heater, but unfortunately, it takes you got to have power to do the igniter and the blower. Hey, just trying to help you out, David. Doing what we can, buddy. You think a Honda will do it, Art? I've never had a Honda vehicle. I've had Honda motorcycles, and they were pretty good. I've never had like a Honda generator. They say they're really good too. So I'm going to guess a Honda car is probably pretty good. Yeah, it'd be all melted by the time you got back to Dennis. Just be a bucket of water. Got my ears lowered today, so this cold weather, I'm going to be regretting it. Yeah, the only generator I got is on the motorhome. So I guess if push come to shove to keep from freezing to death, I I could start the motorhome and run it. A Honda with a K series, you'll be fine. Possibly one of the best engineered engines ever made. Okay. Never really ever considered buying a Honda. To be honest with you, I've had a couple of Toyotas. The one I got now, and I had a 1971 Corolla that you could probably crawled out through the floorboard. The holes were so big in it. So I think I was 16. Boy, that was a turd. That was a turd bird, man. But when you're 16 and 18, you buy a bunch of cars. You buy what you can afford so you can go out and run around. I think my dad bought my first car. He bought for me was $500. It was a 72 Gran Torino, primer and blue, and it smoked like a German jet. Valve seals were gone on it. We redid the top end of the engine. Man, that was a running machine after that. Painted that thing up at the house. Wasn't the prettiest paint job, but it was better than the primer. So. I'd love to have another Gran Torino. I wish I had that car back. I think I read, I guess that was a 73. That was a one year only vehicle. And then, the government got involved with the safety bumpers and all that BS. And washing machine lid under the carpet. Hey, the washing machine lid was a hell of a lot sturdier than the original metal was. That's for damn sure. I can't remember what we jammed, some kind of sheet metal. It was kind of chromed on it. It might have been stainless steel in it, and put a bunch of caulking down and a bunch of self-tapping screws and beat it into shape. That's the way it was when I got rid of it. I think I only kept the car for about 3 or 4 months. Starter went out, and even back in 19, now some of you guys weren't born, 1979, 1980, that car was only 9 years old and was already rotted out. But back then, a starter for that car was over $200 back then. I can't imagine what it would cost now. So, but that was before imports became very popular. So, Whirlpool restoration, yeah, that's a good idea. All right, Carlo, I'll see you in a little bit. I wasn't even fastened down, just floating along, huh? Well, I always say poor people have poor ways. I bet it got nice and wet when it rained. Guys, I need a nap. Does it to me when it gets warm and then gets cold and it gets warm. It's getting cold again now. It's dropped almost 10 degrees in here. That's crazy. I guess all my trolls ran away. Yeah, you don't live in the Rust Belt. $1,600 for what, Boggy? I mean, you don't get a whole hell of a lot for $1,600 anymore. You're almost paying $1,600 for a chassis, even just a normal car, not a muscle car. It's just a normal car that's just a roller with no title. I mean, I would say 50% of the cars on Marketplace right now do not have titles. So, Toyota Supra. I liked them cars when they first come out. They were cool. They look really cool. That low stance, that wide body. Were pretty badass cars. Never had one because I guess, well, I really wasn't a nerd back then. I wasn't a jock. I wasn't a nerd. You know, I was not in the in crowd. I was just probably a dork when I was growing up. I don't know. I'm sure some people had the name for me. Well, everybody, I think I'm going to get off here. It's getting cold in here. Go home, get in the heat while we have heat. And thank you guys all for coming and hanging out with me this last couple hours on the live stream. Say I tried to do them. Anybody, the new people that haven't subscribed, make sure to leave a comment because YouTube will take your subscriptions back by tomorrow morning. So that's what they do. So anyway, see y'all, and I'll talk to y'all later.